Hey everybody, what's up? This is FlashStack, and now I have a lot of news to go over today, so I might as well go over now. Um, First on the list, effective November 9th, that is a week from now, next Monday, there's going to be a new ban list, and I really thought I should go into this and go through this because I've looked through it and I have some choices that I really think were really good ideas. There are also some that I really hate. And then there's the ones in the middle. But hey. So yeah, let's start with the changes. Let's go with the changes. First, Apple Clipboard Towers. Still don't know how to pronounce it. But hey, yellow. Or not. Hey, who knows? I don't know what I'm saying. No. Um so yeah, Apple Clipboard Towers, you cannot special summon it. It can only be summoned, I believe, if you tribute 3 clipboard monsters. So yeah, that in its own right's not bad. And the 4,000 attack and however much defense, that's not that bad either. Here's the big part. Here's the kicker. Um, Wait 1 second. I need to brush up. Okay, yeah, I had to refresh myself on the rulings. It's unaffected by spell or trap card effects. Also, it's not affected by the effects of any monster that has a lower level than it. So standing at level 10, that is a huge threat. Also, all special summon monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack. Very few monsters can compete with that. And since it's unaffected by spell or trap cards, your opponent's back row can be completely dedicated to wiping you out in case you get something that could finally take this monstrosity out. Them making this forbidden was probably the best choice they could have made, in my opinion. This is one of my favorite choices they made. Next, Shurit, Strategist of the Necros. This thing is a pain in the butt because it can be used as all the monsters need for a ritual summon. If it's a Necros monster that will be summoned, I believe, only Necros monster, this monster can be used to cover the entire, get rid of any necessity for other monsters. You just use this and you're done. That's overpowered. Seeing it forbidden is also a really good choice. El Shaddai Construct. Now, I am a bit iffy on this because El Shaddai Construct is a very, very powerful card. And I do agree that it should be limited in some right. Having it forbidden is maybe a bit of a stretch in my opinion. I mean, setting it to just limited would probably be good enough. But I'm still on the fence about that, if it should be limited or forbidden. But nonetheless, I mean, when it's fusion summoned, you can send one Shaddai card from your deck to your grave. And when it's sent from the field to the grave, you can add one Shaddai spell or trap card from your grave to your hand. Also, if it battles a special summon monster, it destroys it. Just flat out destroys it. And the accessibility of Summoning Construct, it's really easy to get out nowadays with all these Shaddai Lightsworn decks. It's so easy to get out that it is very overpowered. So, I'm not sure if it should be forbidden or not, but let's move that aside. Here is what I absolutely am furious about. Evil Swarm Exciton Knight is now banned. It's forbidden. And that was completely just no, I hate that. I hate that completely. I mean, I could see him limiting it to 1 or 2, but making it forbidden, horrible idea. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's so powerful." No, it is not. Let me tell you why this is not powerful. A, you can only use its ability twice, unless you have some cards that can boost the number of Exceed materials it has, but then you'd just be focusing your deck around Exciton Knight, and that's not smart. Yeah. So it can only use its ability twice normally. It can only use its ability during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase. Of course, it's a quick effect, but that's not the point. Third, its effect can only be used once per chain. Even though it's a quick effect, you cannot use it multiple times in a chain. Fourth, it only has 1900 attack. No. And even though it destroys everything other than itself, point number 5, when the turn it activates its ability, you cannot deal any more damage after you activate this ability. For the rest of the turn, you can't deal any damage whatsoever. So yeah. I'm just completely furious about Exciton Knight. Absolutely furious. Oh, did I mention its biggest handicap? If you have more monsters, I mean, if your opponent, okay, how do I put this? You must have less cards total on your hand and your side of the field than your opponent does, or else this effect cannot be activated. So try activating it back to back? No. Judgment Dragon's more broken than this. He can activate his effect multiple times. He can deal damage the turn he activates his effect. And sure, you have to pay 1,000 activate each time, but you can OTK with 3 Judgment Dragons. Can't do that with Exciton. So yeah, furious. Okay, Clipboard Scout. It was huge with its searching power. It was just really strong. So moving him from semi-limited to limited, probably a good choice. Because even without Epic Clipboard Towers, this is still a very powerful archetype. So you gotta nerf it a bit. Use Clipboard Scout, make it only 1 instead 2. So yeah, that was a good decision. Graph, Malbranch of the Burning Abyss, they really overdid it here, sending him from allowing to have 3 of him to 1 of him. Sure, if you sent to the grave, you can special summon 1 Burning Abyss monster from your deck. So what? It's only 1 level 3 monster. I mean, semi-limited, I could see that. Having only 2 of him, I could see that. Mathematician, I'm not really furious about this like I am Exciton Knight, but I just don't see it. Because, sure, Mathematician is a good card. You summon it, you can send 1 card from your deck to your grave, and if it's destroyed by battle, I believe, you can add 1 card from, you could draw 1 card. But here's the thing. Mathematician, as you've seen in so far, a lot of the archetypes that it's used in, Burning Abyss and Shadal's being the main ones, those have gotten nerfed. So nerfing Mathematician doesn't have as much impact as you think it would. It also supports Light Sworns, but Light Sworns are not as powerful as the others. I still use them though, because Light Sworns are awesome. Necros of Brionic, that's a very powerful card too. I'm not even going to go into all the effects, but yeah, moving it from semi-limited to limited was a good choice. I agree with it. Necros of Unicorn, moving that to limited, pretty good idea too, because any monsters on the field, if I'm not mistaken, I might get these effects wrong, if I'm not mistaken, any monster on the field, when this card is summoned, its effects are negated, I believe. I think that's what it is. As long as this card's on the field, any cards that were on the field when this card was ritual summoned. Let me check. Oh no, the ability is a lot worse than I thought. Negate the effects of all face-up monsters that were special summoned from the extra deck. So all fusions, synchros, Xyz, and all monsters pendulum summoned from the extra deck, their effects are negated. I mean, I could totally see that if Unicorn was a weak monster, but it's 2300 attack. That is decent attack. Ritual Beast Ulti Kanahawk. This was really exciting for me because I cannot tell you how many times I ran into a Ritual Beast deck that's completely owned me. And you know what happens? The first step is always Ulti Kanahawk. That is always the first step in completely decimating your opponents with the Ritual Beast deck. So seeing that limited, music to my ears. Not even going to go into that, because still Ritual Beasts confuse me to this very day. They're one of the archetypes I just can't wrap my head around. Anyway, El Shaddai Fusion. Limited, good choice, because it's a quick play effect. Of course, you can only activate it once per turn, but quick play. So yeah, a quick play fusion card. You can deal more damage to your opponent during your battle phase, because you can just fuse right away. Or you can do it during your opponent's turn. So yeah. Because it's instant fusion does the same thing, except instant fusion has repercussions. El Shaddai Fusion does not. Reinforcement of the army. No. Why would they limit this? There are so many decks that rely on reinforcement of the army just to stay intact, and here they are putting it limited. You can only have one now? I disagree completely. Sorry, you screwed up on that one. Seer. Now, unlike Graph, they got this right. Because Seer is the same as Graph, except instead of special summoning from the deck, you special summon from the grave. So Seer is still a very good monster, but Graph should have been semi-limited just like Seer. They got this one right. Because it needed some limiting, but not too much. I'm going to skip these two because I'll go back to that in a minute. Gear, it's no longer limited, and that's a good thing because Geargias, they need the boost. Special summon 2 Geargiano monsters from your deck. Okay, they're low level. Sure, you can Exceed summon into them, but the monsters are average at best, if you ask me. I'm not hating on the Geargias, just stating what I think. They're average at best, so giving them this little boost back, I could totally see. I know a friend of mine that really would be happy to hear that. Spellbook of Fate. I honestly can't see why that was limited. So, I mean, I don't really know much about spellbooks, but I looked at its effects and it didn't really seem like much of a problem. So, and it can only be activated once per turn. So, yeah. CNA Unlimited. Not really on either side. Chaos Sorcerer. Why? I mean, it was perfect where it is. Same with Shien. They're both perfect where they were. Because they're both powerful monsters with powerful effects. And here you go, allowing more access to them? I'm sorry, you're banning Exciton and you're allowing people to have 3 of these monsters? I don't see that. 6 samurai monsters are known to multiply very quickly. And so the effects of Shien are really powerful. Especially if you have 2 of them? Oh. No. Because then, if one would be destroyed, the other one can instead... if one of them would be destroyed, instead the other one would be destroyed. Or if multiple would be destroyed, only one could be destroyed. And on top of that, if you had 2 Shiens on the field, then you can negate multiple spell traps. Now, 2 Shiens, that takes a little bit of effort to get out. So would 3. However, 3 would make it much more deadly than just 2. There are many ways to deal with 2 Shiens. Dealing with 3 at a time, if they somehow got all 3 out, that would be just almost impossible. And Chaos Sorcerer, with the cards that they have now, you can banish one Chaos Sorcerer, special summon another one, and then you can use other cards to special summon the banished one back. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the new ban list. I'm not really sure how it goes, but there is more news, so I will get into that. Be back in a minute. In other news, if you remember, I told you that I went to the Dimension of Chaos sneak peek last Saturday, and I would just like to talk about some of the cards I found. Now, here we have the promo card that we got. Samurai Cavalry of Rep tier. It's Pendulum Monster, level 4. It's a dinosaur, Earth attribute. And what it does is, if it attacks an opponent's monster that's not a pendulum monster, it destroys it. Fair enough, right? Performapal's second donkey. I got one of these. I'm gonna have to go off memory on this. Performapal's second donkey. I got one of them. I had others, but I did some trades. I will talk about them later. Second donkey is when you normal special summon it, you can send one Performapal monster from your deck to your grave. And if you have if you have both your pendulum zones filled when you normal or special summon this, you add it to your hand instead. Super Heavy Samurai Thief. If you have I believe it has 1,000 attack, 1,000 defense. It's level 10. And I believe if you have no spell trap cards in your graveyard, then you can either destroy. No. One sec. Okay, yeah. I got two thieves, and their ability is you can target one spell trap card on your opponent's side of the field, and you can destroy that, and then destroy one set card on your side of the field. Or you can destroy one pendulum monster in their pendulum zones, and then put that in your pendulum zone. So yeah, pretty solid. I'll skip that. Drum, level 1 tuner. If it's destroyed, then you can special summon one Super Heavy Samurai monster from your graveyard. Transporter, one. Okay, so Transporter, if you have no spell trap cards in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. After this card was special summoned this way, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except Super Heavy Samurai monsters. If you have no spell trap cards in your graveyard, you contribute this card, special summon up to 2 monsters from your hand to your opponent's side field in defense position. Then draw cards equal to the number of monsters special summoned by this effect. You can only use this effect of Super Heavy Samurai Transporter once per turn. Okay. So that's the way it goes. Yeah, I got one Transporter. Soul Horns, level 2, you equip it. I don't know what happens when it's equipped. But you can also unequip it from your monster and special summon it to your side of the field. I have 4 of those. Soul Claw. You can target one Super Heavy Samurai monster you control. Equip this monster from your hand to that side. If you 500 attack and defense, also cannot be destroyed by battle. While this card is equipped to a monster by this card's effect, you can special summon this card. Okay. So this one, I have 2 of them. Yeah, because of the recording software, I don't have access to the back button, so I have to like click and press backspace because that's sometimes what happens. DD Swirl Slime. You can send this cards from your hand. You send cards from your hand to the grave that could be used to summon a fusion summon a DD monster from your extra deck, including this one, and then you can do so. And Necro Slime is kind of the same thing, except you banish from your grave instead of sending cards from your hand to the grave. Wild Vulture is level 6 Raid Raptors monster. I got one of these. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I have 3 of Swirl Slime and 3 of Necro Slime. Wild Vulture, it's level 6. You contribute it to special summon 2 Raid Raptors monsters that have levels equal to both monsters have levels equal to the Wild Vulture. Skull Eagle, level 3, and it has a lot of effects. I'm not going to go over their effects. You know what? I'm just not going to go over it. I'm just going to tell you, unless I really want to talk about it. So yeah, I got 1 Skull Eagle and 1 Wild Vulture. I got 1 Mirror Conductor and 1 Plush Fire. Those are the Perform Mage Pendulum monsters. So yeah. 1 Assault Blackwing Kunai the Drizzle. I also had Raikiri the Rain Shower, but I traded him away, and I'll talk about that later. 2 Sphere Karibo. Yeah, 2 Super Soldier Soul. I don't really care about that because I did not get any of the, other than Super Soldier Soul, I did not get any of those new Blackluster Soldier cards, such as Beginning Night and even Twilight Night. And why must Magic Spectre Raccoon be ultra rare? I know it's the ultimate search, but come on. Yeah, I got 3 Magispector Crow, and 2 Magispector Fox, and 2 Magispector Unicorn. Add 1 Magispector Spell, 1 Magispector Trap, and you can tribute 1 Magispector monster. You could target 1 Magispector monster you control, and 1 monster you control, both to hand. Ignite Veteran, just level 6. Ignite monster. 1 Gradle Slime, 3 Gradle Alligator, 3 Gradle Cobra, and 2 Gradle Eagle. So yeah. Destroyed by monster or spell card effect. Destroyed by battle or spell card effect. Take control of one of your opponent's monsters. Destroyed by a battle or opponent's trap card effect. Take control of one of your opponent's monsters. Destroyed by a battle or opponent's monster effect. Take control of one of your opponent's monsters. Destroy 2 Gradle monsters you control. Special summon this, and then you can special summon 1 Gradle monster from your grave. It's a tuner too, so. Skilled Red Magician. Same as Skilled Black Magician, Skilled White Magician, Skilled Blue Magician, except you can special summon any Archfiend monster once you have 3 spell counters on it. 1 Toon Barrel Dragon. It's just like Barrel Dragon, but it's a Toon monster. 1 Part of the Forbidden. Let me tell you, that is one powerful flip monster. Of course, you need 2 tributes for it, but its abilities are really worth it. Dr. Frankenderp. Pay 500 life points, then you can take a look at the top card of your deck, and then you can either put it on the bottom of the deck or add it to your hand. And if you add it to your hand, you cannot draw. You can have to skip your next draw phase. I did, in fact, get Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, but in order to get it, I did have to trade away a Psyframe Lord Omega that I had gotten in my most recent pack of high-speed riders. But yeah, I got the ultimate rare, so it's good. I already told you about right here the Rain Shower. I actually traded that away for a hot Red Dragon Archfiend because I don't have one of those. 2 Despot Jet. Why? Just why would you make it common? Are you just trolling us? Because unless you use the Despot deck, it's useless because it only has 500 attack and defense. I got 1 copy of Shuffle Reborn, and let me just read the effect to you really quickly. If you control no monsters, target 1 monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effects are negated. Also banish it during the end phase. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 card you control, shuffle it into the deck, then draw 1 card. Also, during the end phase of this turn, banish 1 card from your hand. You can only use this effect of Shuffle Reborn once per turn. So yeah, I had one of those. I've been helping a friend remake their deck, and I gave it to them. I think I got 1 Raptor's Ultimate Mace. I just equip against 1,000 when equip. Okay, yeah, powerful spell, powerful equip spell. Okay, I did have 1. I do have a Magispector Storm somewhere. I believe I do. I got 3 copies of Gradle Impact. I don't want to go over the effect, it's long. Psychic Blade, you can pay life points for in increments of 100 up to 2,000, and the monster that's equipped to this gains that much attack. So yeah. And I don't even want to go over it, but I got so many D cards, contract changes and all that. No. 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 They literally just took almost all the DDD monsters they hadn't released yet. They just gave them all to you in commons. And if you didn't want a DDD deck, too bad. You get one. Basically what happened. So yeah. I got 3 contract with heirs, 3 contract change. I did have a Tempest, but I traded it away and a Magispector Fox so I can get ironically, DDD Wave King Caesar. Yeah. One Gradle split. One second, it's freezing. Okay, yeah, that. I got one Grand Horn of Heaven. Surprisingly, people weren't drawing a lot of Grand Horn of Heaven. It's like the red resonator of this pack. It's a common, but it's difficult to get. So yeah, it's like Black Horn of Heaven. When your opponent special summons a monster or monsters, you can negate the summon and then destroy them. However, unlike Black Horn of Heaven, they have extra effects. After the summon is negated, the main phase is over. Also, during the end phase of the turn this card is activated, your opponent draws a card. So yeah, ups and downs. Yeah, DDD Wave King Caesar. I got one of him because it does help my deck tremendously. In fact, I did win a duel earlier today because I had this card. During another player's turn, you can detach one Exciton material from this card. At the end of the battle phase, special summon from your graveyard as many monsters destroyed this turn as possible, but during the next standby phase, take 1,000 damage for each monster special summoned by this effect. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one Dark Contract card from your deck to your hand. I don't use a DD deck. However, 2 level 4 Fiend type monsters to summon this thing, pretty good. I mean, it saved me. I used Dark Hole to destroy both it and the cards on my opponent's side of the field. However, I did also, I did get to special summon at the end of the battle phase. I did get to special summon this card and Odd Eyes Dragon back. So, yeah, it's a real mosh pit of a deck. So, yeah, DDD Savant Kepler. I didn't get any Galilei, but I got 2 Kepler. And their abilities are... you cannot pendulum summon monsters except DD monsters. This effect cannot be negated. Once per turn during your standby phase, reduce this card's pendulum scale by 2, min 1. Then destroy all monsters you control with a level greater than or equal to this card's pendulum scale except DD monsters. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can activate one of these effects. You can only use this effect of DD Savant Kepler once per turn. Target one other DD card you control, return to the hand, add one Dark Contract card from your deck to your hand. So yeah. It's an okay card if you're using DDs, but oh yeah, I got 1 copy of DD Human Resources and 1 Contract Laundering. 3 copies of Dark Contract with the Gate and 2 copies of Dark Contract with the Swamp King. I got a lot of Dark Contract cards. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much what I got there. I also got some other cards, such as I got some other cards that I don't have, such as Red Dragon, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, Stardust Spark Dragon, and what else? Oh yeah, and High Speed Roid Kendama. So yeah, I got a lot of cards that I needed, a lot of cards I didn't. So yeah, this has been basic news update about what's going on, the new ban list, and what happened at the new sneak peek I went to. So I do recommend getting the Dimension of Chaos though when it comes out, because they do have really good cards despite me having a huge problem with all the DD cards I was getting. But yeah. So until next time, this has been Flash Static, and I will see you all later.